Hey everybody. Well, today I thought we could take a look at a Star Trek, the original series Communicator. Now, I've been trying to get a hold of one of these for a long time. This one here is from Star Trek The Experience. It was an exhibit and kind of an entertainment, I don't know, facility, I guess you could call it, at the Hilton Hotel in Las Vegas. I think it ran from 1998 to about 2008 or something like that. Not exactly sure the date. I think it ran for about 10 years. Used to go to Vegas a lot with my best friend, but sadly, when my best friend passed away, I just stopped going. And that was about the time he passed away in 1998, the same year that they started doing this. So I never got a hold of one of these. Now, these are not the easiest things to find. I don't see these on eBay very often. And I've been always curious about getting one of these. And the more I look at it, the more I find that it's very similar to this one. Now, I showed this one in another video where I compared, I think, 4 different communicators. This one is by Entertainment Earth, and it looks kind of similar in the fact that they both have kind of wide butts to them, like the bottom part of it, wider than the original props, and they kind of have a similar looking back. Now, on the Star Trek Experience one, you'll notice this little button right here. That is to make the sound effect for being hailed. This one's got the same feature, but it uses a different way to do it. I'll show you the difference between these two. Also, the grill on the Experience version here is not as shiny as this one. This one's got a really nice shiny one for the Entertainment Earth one. This one's got more of a dull finish. And also the metal piece in here is narrower. No, actually it's narrower on the Entertainment Earth version. So yeah, slight little differences on here. All right, so now let's take a look at the features that this has. Now when you flip it open, okay, that's the sound effects it makes, and it's a kind of a long chirp sound. It's got the working moiré, which looks very good on here, I must say. It's got a really nice looking moiré, and it's pretty accurate to the original props because it has that kind of circular dot in the middle. But look how good the pattern moves. It does have a motor in it, but it's not very loud. It's actually a pretty quiet motor. Okay, and then it's got these lights. This is lit here. This one here, when you press and hold this, the red light lights up. And then the sound effect it has is just this. It's the static sound effect. Okay, so it's like the interference. And then when you shut this, now when you push this, that is the hailing sound. There we go. I think it only does it once. Let's do it again. Now the sound effect on that, it's similar to the sound effect they used on the original series, but it's a little off. Just like the sound effect of the chirping sound here is a little bit different as well. It sounds more artificial and sounds a little more foggy sounding or muffled. So that's the difference on this one. Okay, so now let's compare this to the Entertainment Earth version. Now this one here has got a more accurate chirp sound, but it is shorter. Okay, so now you can see that that one has a more accurate sound to it. Now the moiré on this is not quite as visible as the Star Trek Experience version, but it does have a nice working moiré. The motor, I don't know if you can hear it, is much louder. It's got a much louder motor, and it doesn't have that circle in the middle like the original prop, but it still looks really good. I think Diamond Select did a really good job on these. So it does have more of a whirring sound to it. Now the features on this, you can see that the yellow light, see how it's just kind of randomly blinking, which I think is kind of cool. And then this one has a whole bunch of sounds. If I press and hold it, now I've shown this before in another video, but we'll show it in this one.
Right here, Captain. Scotty here, Captain. Enterprise is Kirk. Enterprise to Mr. Spock. Bridge, this is the captain. Transporter room. Ready to beam up. Spock here, Captain. Your signal is very weak. Can you turn up your gain?
Okay, so it has quite a few different sounds, and if you push them individually,
Scotty here, Captain.
you can bring each one, they kind of randomize.
Enterprise is Kirk. Enterprise to Mr. Spock.
But if you press and hold it, it'll run through the whole thing. Okay, so now this one's got the hailing frequency or the hailing sound effect as well. But on this one, you press this, and you'll notice how the red light is blinking. And then you shut this, and then you wait a few seconds here. Okay, and that one, this will keep beeping until you open it, which I like, and also the beep is much more accurate to the sound effect they used on the show. And then when you open it,
Captain, shall I beam down an armed party?
It has that extra sound effect from Spock. So it has, like, you know, that one's only exclusive to when you do the hailing feature on there. So I don't know. Now that I've got one of these, let me open this one back up. So you can definitely see the Moiré differences. I love that they both have the moving Moiré pattern, because I think these two are the only ones I know of, besides the Wand Company version, that has a moving Moiré. But this one here definitely looks nicer. I mean, you can really see it. It's almost hypnotizing. Looks just like it did on the show. And also it looks like Mr. Spock's science station on the bridge. He had one of these things. It's like a larger version of it. Although it stopped moving later on in the series, because I guess what I read is that the motor behind there made too much noise. So they had to stop using it. It's very cool. Now, on the original props, at least on the Hero version, the way they made this move is they had a stopwatch inside here. It's like a stopwatch, and then it had a brass tube that was down here, and they would stick a rod down there, and when they turned it, they could actually stop the stopwatch, so they could make this stop turning, but they could also wind the watch, and that's what made that turn. It was very old school. And then if you see it close up, there's a couple scenes in a couple episodes where you can see it. It doesn't move nice and smooth as you see here. Since it was a stopwatch, you can see how it kind of made the like a stopwatch's second hand went tick, 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 tick. Well, you can kind of tell how you can see the ticking motion of this. It was kind of more jerky. It wasn't as smooth as this. So it was probably a quieter thing. If they had this motor running, you know, for the show, that it would have probably gotten picked up on the microphones. But I really love the Moiré on this versus the Moiré on the Entertainment Earth version, or the Diamond Select version. But they're both really good. I would say the only thing that I would say this one's got going for it, the Star Trek Experience one, is the Moiré looks better. Because overall, the sound effect for the chirping doesn't sound quite right. It sounds more muffled. And I don't know, there's something artificial sounding about it. And also, this sound is not quite right either. It sounds almost more like a buzz versus this one, which has a more accurate sound of the beeping like we hear on the show. See, that sounds exactly like it did on the show. In fact, I think they just recorded it directly off the show. And the fact that it has this extra vocal.
Captain, shall I beam down an armed party?
That's really neat. This one doesn't have that. It has no vocal sounds at all. The only one it has is the the only sound effect. So yeah, they're very similar to each other in the way they look and the way the plastic looks on here. But I would have to say the Diamond Select version comes out on top. And it's kind of interesting. I've been trying to get one of these for such a long time, and now that I got one, I do like it, but I am surprised to see that the Diamond Select version is actually better, at least in my opinion anyway. But I just wanted to kind of do a comparison between these two since they're so similar. I am glad to finally get one of these in my collection. Like I said, they're not the easiest things to find. I happened to find this one on eBay, and it was about $70, and normally they're about $100 to $200, as I've seen. So the person who had it was selling it at a good price. They didn't have the original box or instructions or anything like that, which is probably why the price was lower, but that was fine. I wasn't really interested in all of that. But it looks really good. I love these. I love the classic communicator from the original Star Trek. They're both very cool. All right, well, that's it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick little comparison to show you the difference of these in case you've ever wondered what the differences were, because I always wondered. And that's what they are. So they're both pretty cool, though. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I will see you on the next video. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.